What's up, fam? Welcome to Vessels for Glory, a brotherhood podcast where you and I are being shaped together to carry what matters most. Today is a special episode. I have a friend of mine here with me, Senzo Mpangase. So you know the saying that never meet your heroes? Well, Senzo met me. I was saving that one for for your wedding. Well, my wife, we were talking the other day, and then she just asked me, when did you guys meet and how did you meet? I was saying to myself, I don't remember, but I know Senzo does. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do remember. Yeah, it was here on Brownbridge campus.
Yeah.
But I do remember you. The first time I knew you,
Yeah.
I think it was still on campus. It was one of those midweek services,
Okay.
and you were preaching on justification, mainly based on Romans and other verses from Exodus and things like that. So you started speaking, and you are using the theological terms and things like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, finally, I think this person I can relate with.
Oh.
Right? Then that was just in the back of my mind. Then
Yeah.
it was through a mutual friend, Utan.
Yeah.
So that's where we started.
I remember there was a day when we were outside the Steve Biko Road, and I don't know, I just bumped into you, and then we started talking. Okay, but as soon as we started talking, I was like, "What?" Like you were so informed and you were so calm and so composed. I thought to myself, while I was preaching, there was a man like this listening to me, you know. And I think from then we sort of just picked up. I can tell you that 90% of the books that I've read have been your recommendations, and not just any recommendations. These are must-read books, and you've had a lot of impact in my life. Like I was already. I was already a bookworm, but when I met you, you took it to a whole new level. Senzo, if you talk about anything, Senzo has read a book about it, whether it is sociology, psychology, even has an ology to it. Senzo has read a book. Yeah, so yeah, man. And then today, I think this kind of takes it home that it's fitting that we have a conversation with you about it, and we're talking about friendship. And I was just thinking to myself, though, why is this conversation important? Why is it even worth having?
Yeah. I think it's a very important conversation. Let's say, if we tie it back to you, I see this person speaking, and I'm saying, like, this is a kindred spirit.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll be like, yes, I would love to be friends with this person.
Yeah.
From that moment.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is important, like many people, I think they get into, like, friendship is necessary for many things.
Okay.
It gives us a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
It gives us a sense of companionship. And at that time, one of my challenges that I was growing.
Yeah.
I was trying to grow my mind. I was trying to grow spiritually.
Yeah.
But I felt lonely when I
Okay.
I was very lonely.
Yeah.
I felt isolated, and sometimes I would think maybe I should stop reading and whatever, and not grow so that I can relate as easily to the people that I know.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I met you, it was such a good outlet.
Oh, yeah. I remember
like,
those days. Yeah.
We'll reflect ideas, we'll read
Yeah.
books and we share books, and I'm not pushing you.
Yeah.
You are into what I'm into,
Yeah.
so it helped for me to bridge that loneliness aspect.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was even beyond that, obviously, also spiritually, just going in other
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, friendship started. It gave me a sense of belonging. It gave me
Wow.
companionship,
Wow. Yeah.
which, even though I had, and I still have other friends, but there's something unique that you brought into my life in the companionship. So it's important for companionship.
Wow, that's very important. I mean, and also in another sense that not everyone will get to experience love, the romantic love, or get to experience love of a mother or father. Tragedies happen all the time, and people don't grow up with that. kind of love, but the love of a friend.
Yeah.
The love of a friend is most accessible to anyone if you work at it. So Simon Sinek talks about industries developed on how to make people better workers, better surgeons, better this and better that, but we don't really talk about friendship, and yet it's a very essential part of human existence. And now you're touching on things like you're touching like companionship and all of that, but we'll get to that in a moment. I just want to understand maybe from you, how have you come to understand friendship? Like what is a friend? For me, when I think of friendship or think of a friend, the word bond, somehow it has to be there. It's individuals who are bonded through whether it's mutual admiration, like what you mentioned, hey, you listen to this guy speaking and then wow, you admire that, but not only is it one-sided, it's reciprocated, because when I listen to you talk, I was like, wow, so that mutual admiration there, that mutual affection, you like the guy, and then obviously trust and all of that. So that's how I've come to frame friendship, and it's important because now friendship is reduced to a click of a button, so it's good to know what are we talking about. Are we on the same page? Are you talking about your Facebook friends here? Or are you talking about something deeper?
So for me, I would say, friendship does exist in different tiers. Some people are close friends. Some people are not as close.
Yeah.
So let's say for the people that are closer, think about it. It's almost like the family you choose.
Okay. Yeah.
Friends are the family you choose.
Yeah.
There are people who are
That's
also
good.
friends but not as close. They're almost like the community you choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that word family just shows the closeness.
Yeah.
And community, yes, you still are part of the same ecosystem, but
Yeah.
you might not be as close. And
Yeah.
yes, we also think about social media. I think they use the term friend, but it's mainly someone you know. Honestly.
Yeah.
Someone you
Yeah.
know. Sometimes a fan.
Yeah. True.
You're fans of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, for you to genuinely be friendship, there has to be intimacy.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone
Okay.
has to
Yeah.
see into you and know something
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
There has to be
Yeah.
access.
Yeah. Yeah.
There has to be some sort of proximity.
Okay.
It might not be physical all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Also that.
Well, they say that, and I believe this. They say it's easy for guys to be friends than than for our counterparts to be friends. I've seen it from experience. We recently moved from Bloemfontein to Durban, but just like that, I had friends that I could play soccer with Saturday mornings. Whereas when it comes to my wife, it took time, but. But here's the thing, and maybe let me just get into it. When you look at the features of friendship, you're looking at companionship and you're looking at closeness, like how C.S. Lewis speaks of. We make friends shoulder to shoulder as guys. We're looking at one common goal. We're just looking at this thing. We go at it. We're talking about hobbies, interests, or sometimes even responsibilities that we share, and that's more like going down the same road. Amos saying, I think it's Amos 2, can two work together, unless they are agreed. So we have that. But there's another facet, and the one is closeness, intimacy, you just spoke of. This one is where we look eye to eye like this, face to face, and I let you see into me and I see into you, hence the play on word intimacy. So I become vulnerable and open, and I say, see into me, and you absolve me and you reassure me and all of that. And we guys, we don't do that. So what I'm trying to say is, even though I might say I was quick to make friends, I made companions. But my wife now has quality friends, people that see into her and she sees into them, and it's in depth. But how is your experience in that area? Do you agree that women make friends easier than men?
I think you already explained. I was gonna say I'm not sure, but I say generally, yeah, the trend is like that, like men shoulder to shoulder. The issue is that with us, because we can just be together for doing things, often our relationship end up being very superficial.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is why when we say like that person not your friend, someone you do things with
okay,
from time to time. So I think it depends on the definition.
yeah,
Because men and women, when they're talking about friendship, are using the same words, but these are totally different things
yeah,
to both parties. And I feel like, obviously, these are not exclusive things.
yeah,
Men, yes, do shoulder to shoulder, but they also do face to face.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Though they find it harder to do that.
yeah, yeah. True.
And women also do shoulder to shoulder, but often before they do shoulder to shoulder, they have to do face to face.
Yeah, true, true,
So
true.
there's that there, and I think both
Yeah,
are necessary.
yeah,
And even that distinction, I think it's important, even for the men listening today, because it also helps us. For I know some people don't, some people do believe in those cross-gender friendships.
okay, yeah,
In that sense, that I'm sure all of us have been frustrated for those people who've had cross-gender friendships at times,
yeah,
because there will be certain expectations by the other gender, and you're like, no, friends don't do that.
true,
Now, why should I talk to you every day? I have
True.
my friends that I've known for so many times. We don't talk every day.
yeah,
Then this other person is upset.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So, yeah, that's definitely. I think I share the sentiment.
yeah,
That, though some people can talk about safety elements and different things like
Yes.
that. That you feel safer in the environment. That's why it's easier for you to go out
yeah.
and
True,
to do things.
true, true. You mentioned, like, I never thought of it that way, that perhaps intimacy for us as men will spring up from companionship when we share those hobbies, maybe share those responsibilities, and when we share, when we share those interests, and from time to time, then we may get opportunities after we've developed trust and things like that. We can have an opportunity to have a face-to-face now, build up intimacy, whereas women can start start with the intimacy part and then move on to companionship. And there's another issue that I'm sure we've all faced and dealt with when friendship dies, so when the spark just suddenly goes off, and or maybe say when friendship hits that rough patch and we're sort of like fighting and we're trying to, like, tell me why do friendships come to an end? I know this is a very, you cannot overgeneralize because different contexts and different situations, but there has to be maybe a universal reason that, oh, perhaps it could be this, that friendships come to an end and stuff.
Yeah, I think it goes along the foundation of the friendship. Like some people become friends because of shared interests,
Yeah,
or they have similar hobbies. So,
Yeah.
example, or they think they have friends, but they just have shared interests, or it's because of circumstance,
yeah,
or often it's because of proximity.
yeah,
So if you make an example, I had a friend of mine. He's trying to do things like do business and things like that, and he was saying like I have to get a car because of business, whatever. And I'm trying like basically, what he was thinking about is a bad decision. So I'm trying to convince him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is a bad decision, but in a way that doesn't make you feel like I'm trying to hold him back or something like that.
yeah,
Then he said one of his doing and some of the things he's doing in business requires transport.
yeah,
So he said like no, but you can take a taxi, there's Uber and things like that. He said like no, it limits him in terms of time and such. Then I asked him, don't you have other friends who can help you from time to time?
Yeah.
Transport, you can pay petrol, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, not inconveniencing. Then he said this. He realized, because he drinks, that the people who thought he was friends were actually drinking buddies. So he said, if right now we were to go to Pietermaritzburg
Yeah.
to some event or to some lady, they wouldn't hesitate. But
Okay.
as soon as I asked for something that was job
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
they didn't. And I was happy for him to get that distinguishing.
On his
aspect.
own.
It was like that wasn't the household.
Yeah.
Those friends, those people who had shared interests.
Yes.
For others, it's about proximity.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people are genuine friends.
Yes. Yes.
But not everyone is a lifelong friend.
Yeah, and when I think of why friendships come to an end, I think of Aristotle's types of friendship, talking about friendship of utility and friendship of pleasure and friendship of virtue, and really sometimes it's just the mutual interest, and when the mutual interest changes, then the relationship changes as well, because if we were united by maybe you say playing soccer and or golf or whatever you enjoy together. So when there's no proximity, you can't play soccer no more, then the relationship changes. And also if it was not just pleasure now, but if it's utility as well, I give you this, it's mutual benefits. So if as long as I'm benefiting from you, then we're friends. But if the benefit is not mutual no more, one side feel used and all of that, and then we have a fallout. But the one that I've seen, for me, I understand those ones are easy to understand. But when it's a friendship of virtue now, where you're not just attracted to each other or bonded over what you both enjoy, but you are attracted to who you are, like how I was attracted to the kind of person you are, and you're attracted to the kind of person I am. Now when you change, that becomes a deal breaker sometimes. You've seen that maybe you admire the person Sanele is and all of that, and maybe we don't know, because of life circumstances or whatever, Sanele changes from being this person, and you try to walk with him, and you try you're trying to encourage him, love on him, bring him back, especially when it comes to your walk with the Lord. And then after some time you realize, hey, whatever has a hold on him, a grip on him, is starting to have a grip on me too. So now you have to make a decision: do we sync together, or is it time for me to cut the ties? And the Bible does speak about saving your brother from the fire, but be careful that you do not get burned yourself.
Yeah, I think those things, like those, you said utility, virtue. What was the first one?
Utility, and then there's pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it can be a continuum. Like with most friendship, it starts from shared interest.
Okay.
Like we had a shared interest, our personal development.
I'm with you, yes.
And theology.
Yeah.
And that led to, there was also utility, we're exchanging books.
Yeah. More you giving me books than me giving you. But yeah.
And it became a virtue thing. It's a
Yes.
what we stand for.
Yeah.
So sometimes it explains how friendship can develop.
Yeah.
We can look at it as developmental.
Yes.
In terms of how they develop. And some people will fall off.
Yes.
On the side,
Yes.
The pleasure side. The utility, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
This person does not exchange anything.
Yes.
We can express frustrations.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have shared activities. The issue is that I'm always the one giving.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So for us to move to the next stage, right?
Yeah.
There has to be that there, and sometimes you find, okay, there is exchange. We do share the same interest, but now we look at the virtue element of the person, who the person is.
Yes.
And in those things, if you're using that framework, it also speaks about the concept of development in terms of what developmental stage you are in.
Okay, yeah.
Because when you're younger, and I'm not just talking about biologically,
Yeah.
even in terms of maturity, it's easier for you to stay on the pleasure
Okay.
side. But then as you grow up, you start to care more about the utility side.
I'm with you. Yes. Yes.
And when you get older, because of the responsibilities you have, and because you have a clear insight about who you are
Yeah.
and who you want to be,
Yeah.
the element of virtue becomes even more important.
Yeah.
Where now you start looking at friends and selecting
Yeah.
from the friends that you have in terms of who
Yeah.
you spend time with,
Yeah.
based on now values and vision.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So there's almost that continuum that
Mm.
happens there, and I hope it should happen,
Yeah.
because you can't stay at the pleasure element, because it's quite a very superficial type of friendship.
Yeah.
Utility, yes, it's useful,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's a good practice to go into a friendship based on what you will get.
Yeah. No. Yes.
It's
Yes.
not really
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah.
That is-
It needs to move to that
Yeah.
agape love, where Jesus in John 15 says, "Greater love has no man than this, than to lay for your friends." And that's one of the shifting gears a little bit. We're already there. The benefits of really having friendship. That I hope even people listening are understanding that we're not talking about certain friendship in these silos, or saying it's just a friendship or utility, but it's a mixed bowl of all of those things, and one leading to the other, and all of that, and is reciprocated. One of the benefits of having such a relationship is, you touched on this, like that intimacy, that reassurance. There's something about hearing the words "me too." You remember in back in high school or in primary school, where the teacher is going around checking if everybody did their homework, and you didn't, and you're in trouble, and then you check your friend and he says "me too." For some reason, it's not. It doesn't make any logical sense, because if you were going to get 4 lashes, it's not like now, okay, because it's 2 of you, you're going to divide. It's going to be 2 lashes for Sanel and 2 lashes for Senzo. No, you're still going to get your 4. I'm going to get my 4. But there's comfort knowing that I'm getting this 4 alongside my friend. And then there's something about that reassurance. I mean, life is earth is not heaven. When we get to heaven, the Bible says he will wipe away the tears. I mean, there are certain people that lived their best life on earth, well off and all of that, but when they get to heaven, they're still going to cry, and Jesus is going to comfort them, because the best of earth is like nothing compared to heaven. I mean, there's just pain everywhere. There's this potential that can be actualized anytime. Tragedy, you can lose a leg, you can lose a loved one. That knowledge on its own, it's weighty on our souls and all of that. So to have somebody to walk alongside you and say "me too," at certain stages of your life, "Hey man, I'm feeling down, I'm under the weather, I don't feel like waking up, I don't feel like this," and then you got, "Hey man, I once been there," and all of that. It's very reassuring, and it helps with your resilience against things like anxiety and stress, and also to have that that moment where you can share your worst self to someone else, and they can absolve you. They can love on you. They know you for who you are, and yet they love you still. That sense of security, man. I mean, we all need that.
We do.
Yeah. So yeah.
And we pretend that we don't
True.
at times. Which is why, like, as you're talking, I'm just thinking about our society. If you're talking about pleasure, utility, and virtue, I think for a lot of times in our society, most people are stuck in pleasure friendships.
True.
It's about shared interest. We're going out to do this and going out to do
Especially
that,
we
to
guys.
party. Yeah, we guys. We
Yeah.
start at the pleasure center. It doesn't help much when real circumstances come,
Yeah.
and people end up getting disappointed where they didn't know though this person. We only spend time together when we're having a good time,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
whatever that
Okay.
activity. Because if you don't understand what type of friendship you have with the person, you can get disappointed.
Yes. Yeah.
And some people, especially in the personal development space, you can see that they operate more on the utility friendship framework,
Okay.
and it's betrayed by this language. Real friends are assets, and people who want real friends are liabilities.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's that thing of commodifying
Yeah.
people now,
Yeah.
where you think about people as things you get things from,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
not. And I think what we want to get into, at least have people that you honestly, it's a friendship of virtue,
Yeah.
and that comes from you having a personal revelation of something.
Yes.
I do have a revelation
Yeah.
about it, and for me as a spiritual person, beyond the physical,
Yes.
because I have prayed that God reveals people who are tied to me.
Yeah.
They're not just friends, but they're destiny helpers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Which for me, at the point where I'm at, that's a deeper level, and there's something honestly I needed this person.
Yes.
And those type of people, like there's a verse in Proverbs saying that a friend wounds,
Yeah. Yeah. Better
and a
than the
brother is
enemies.
born
Yeah.
for adversity.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Okay.
So
I
that
see
thing
that
of a
one.
wounding of a friend is about truth.
Yeah.
They can wound me in order to save me.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's only, I think we only receive that when we know this is a friend of virtue.
Yeah.
There's destiny attached to this type of friendship,
Okay.
which we do need as a
Yeah.
individual. So friend, companionship, yes, a sense of belonging,
Yeah.
but also they can be tied to purpose, destiny helper, and those are some of the benefits.
Yeah.
Especially noting that this one quote once says, we're talking about relationship, but I can say it about friendship, that our lives are expanded or contracted based on how we navigate our relationships.
Sure. That's good. Yeah.
In terms of friendship, our lives are expanded or contracted based on how we navigate our friendship.
Yeah. You're mentioning faithfulness there as part of the building blocks or the essential elements that a friendship should have. I have a friend, AJ. He says to me, "You see now, brother, I'm gonna punch you in the gut and then hug you, okay?"
Yeah.
And then he gives it to me.
Yeah.
Oh man, sometimes you need that, and it's not pleasant at the time, but better are the wounds of a friend than the kisses of an enemy. And it's somebody that can can wound you, and and we're not, sometimes though, we do not open ourselves to that kind of friendship because we don't want to change. Sometimes we want to continue on our way. And I remember I had a conversation of a similar nature with another friend of mine. I remember I told you about it, but the unpleasantness of even thinking of approaching this and saying, "Hey man, I'm worried about you. You're like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's sort this out. I think you're falling off the road here." And then it's uncomfortable, it's unpleasant, but on the other side of that conversation, really, you get to see whether you end up helping a friend, or sometimes you end up seeing that, okay, this is a watershed moment. This is where I go right, and this is where the person goes left, and just like that, you're able to see where the conversation or whether the friendship takes the direction. I want us to talk about, as we draw to an end, I want us to talk about the dangers of friendship, because as with all good things, I mean, a knife is a very good tool to a chef, but it's a weapon when it's in the hands of a murderer. So that's some of the potential dangers that you can see um, springing up from friendship.
Yeah. I think it goes again with that thing. If we say it, that a friendship of virtue is a friendship that is based on revelation. To have revelation, someone has to have revealed something.
Okay.
And when you reveal something to someone, which is what we call vulnerability,
Yeah.
they can use that thing for good
Ish.
or for evil.
Yeah. True.
But
True.
based on the benefits of it, I would just say it's something that, for me, I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take that risk, thinking in terms of destiny and the benefits, basically.
Yeah.
Not just keeping the benefit level, but I've gained a lot from friendship.
Yeah.
And I have also a lot of good friends. So, yeah, I'm willing to be vulnerable, which is
Yes.
essentially arming someone, giving someone a gun,
Yeah.
and turning your back,
Ish. Yeah. True.
trusting them that they will use that gun to protect you rather than shoot you in the back.
Shoots in the back.
And sometimes it does happen that the person will shoot you
Yeah.
in the back. And sometimes not because of a malintent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just human nature being human nature.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with a friend, they will wound you and they will also heal you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they wound you because there's poison there. Sometimes they wound you because there's poison in there. But
Yeah.
there's always be that, they will always want to reconcile.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously it's up to your judgment whether. But so there's risk, there's
Yeah.
danger. Men hate vulnerability. We think vulnerability is the weakening of manhood, but it's actually the strengthening. Because it takes
Sure.
a certain type of man to be vulnerable.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like some people who can tell, so and so, I was raped as a man. Those are strong people.
Sure.
Those are very strong people. So, yeah, we still struggle with vulnerability. I still struggle.
Yeah.
At times with being vulnerable about certain things. But it's a risk I'm willing to have
Yeah.
with friends.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so good. I never thought of it that way. But it's like you can't walk on water unless you you step out of your boat. I mean, there's that level of relationship you can't reach until you let go and trust. I think of the confidence that come with friendship. That can be a danger. There are certain things that I would have never done if I didn't have a partner. so yeah, got your back. I mean, like, so that can be good when, obviously, if you're pursuing something good, but it can also be bad because you can be emboldened to do things you wouldn't otherwise have done if you were not coupled with someone else. So, and when I think of that, then it also boils down to the kind of friendship. I was listening to something and they talk about the 6 kind of friends, and then they have the butterfly friend, the connector friend, and all of that. So you have different types of friends, and then you have, they talk about this father or mother figure friend. That's a friend that you go to and then they're gonna punch you in the gut and tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But what you do is you don't go to that one.
Yeah, of course.
When you want to make a wrong decision, but you want to consult a friend about it, you go to the one who is least positioned to give you the right response, and that's a potential danger of friendships, because now you learn how to cheat the system. You navigate the system. I don't talk to Senzo about finances, because I know if I talk to Senzo about finances, he's gonna give me a spanking. So I go to my fashionable friend who spend a lot of money on sneakers and all of that. I know, and then hey man, I want to buy these sneakers, and like, oh yeah man, just have fun, live a little sometimes. So, and then you're like, hey, yeah, well, I did consult a friend and all of that, but so, and I also think of creating these silos where we created paradigm of a them versus us, and then obviously we don't take the opinions of them, you know. So we create these echo chambers where we just in a space where our thoughts are being reflected back to us. So basically we don't grow, we don't change. If it's matters of concerning our doctrinal convictions and all of that, we stay where we are. And I've seen that also where you do not venture outside of your circle because it's a them and they have nothing good to say on these matters. And sometimes you end up being in those spaces. You don't follow the truth wherever it leads, especially if you are a communicator or you are a minister and things like that. So you end up being in that space where you're holding on to this mountain and you're defending it with your life because you are not exposed to what other people have to say on the matter. Yeah, and I think of, again, Deuteronomy speaks of the friend that is as your own soul. I think of the potential danger. I don't know what you think about this. I'll hear your thoughts of having too many friends, because it's almost as if too many friends divide the soul. I believe that different people awaken different types of you. Now imagine you have this person waking this side of you and this one and this one. I think then I'm not saying have a limit on your friends, but I am saying that I don't think you can be friends with everybody.
Even Jesus wasn't friends with everyone. He said, "I now call you friends."
Yeah.
Meaning they were with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's perfect.
Yeah.
He was his love himself.
Yes.
Even though his love, like we all responsibility to love everyone, but we do not all to our responsibility to be friends with him.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it scripturally. So
Yeah.
definitely, though I think based on the framework you gave, we typically have more friends of pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have more,
Yeah.
a bit less, but we do have friends
So you make
of
those.
utility.
So you make those circles like how
circles
Jesus
around
did.
us, yes.
You know, have the 70, have the 12, and then have
And have
the
the
3. Okay.
So the 3 will be the friends of virtue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even do it consciously. Subconsciously, we all do that. We have friends of virtue.
Yes.
The 3.
Yeah.
We'll have. That's not a specific number for anyone listening. That's just an example. We'll have a few friends of virtue.
Yeah.
Like people you admire.
Yeah.
You have a
Okay.
revelation of who they are.
Yeah.
You even have a sense of the fact that they are attached to your destiny.
Yeah. True.
Then we'll have some who are on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Who are friends of utility. These are people you exchange favors with.
Yeah.
Then friends of pleasure. These are broadly the people who you do things.
Yeah.
Including obviously those people who are friends of virtue are also friends of utility.
Yeah.
And they're also friends of pleasure.
Okay.
I think that's there, and sometimes understanding that can help sober you
Yeah.
so that you don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Thank you, man, for just having this conversation with me, eh?
Thank you. For anyone listening, there's this book, the subtitle was For Friendship, the relationship that halves your sorrow and doubles your joy.
Yeah.
That's pursue friendship.
Yeah.
It has the ability to halve your sorrows
Yeah.
and double your joy.
Yeah. You know, and that's what I said. Senzo always has a book about any topic. You see? Okay, cheers, guys.